of lava. That's Earth. But 10,000 feet is not a big deal.
Have you given any consideration whatsoever to the flat Earth movement?
Haha. I think that's a troll situation.
Oh, it's not. No, it's not. You would like to think that
Okay.
because you're a super genius.
Haha.
But I, as a normal person, I know there's people way dumber than me. And they really, really believe. They watch YouTube videos which go on uninterrupted and spew out a bunch of fucking fake facts very eloquently and articulately. And they really believe. These people really believe.
I mean, if it works for them, sure. Fine.
It's weird though, right?
And
So today is tinfoil hat talk, and this is the next segment, which is we're going to be talking today about the flat earth theory. If you are sober, you might want to get unsober because this is going to be a little tripped out. So probably not as tripped out as the last tinfoil hat talk, which was basically about Yakub, the big head scientist, but tripped out nonetheless. We're going to talk about some flat earthers, basically, and their theory. We're not going to necessarily worry about what my theory is. We're going to go into what their theory is about what do they think the earth is flat or round. Okay, so let's play some more videos here and get right into it.
This is a depiction of what the Earth actually looks like. As we all know or should know, we live in an enclosed system. Therefore, there is an ice wall surrounding this entire planetary system, in which we are in the middle of this enclosed system. And outer space is not real the way they described it and showed y'all. Outer space is not actually above us and out of this planetary system. Outer space would be this outer layer that is outside of our ice wall here in the middle. Extraterrestrials or aliens do not come from above outer space. Extraterrestrials come from beyond the ice wall.
Wow, that's crazy. I never heard that before. That is amazing.
Earth is flat. Part 1. Number 1. Airplanes do not adjust the angle of their flight, which is strange. If the Earth were a sphere, they would fly into space. Number 2. The temperature in Antarctica and the equator differ significantly, although the distance from these places is extremely insignificant. When you understand that the Earth is flat, then everything becomes clear. Number 3. If the Earth were spherical, ships would not even see lighthouses at night. But ships always see lighthouses regardless of the distance. Subscribe to learn more proofs.
Flat Earth verse, Flat Earth simulator. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. I'm just gonna keep this going. Let's take a detour. Let's play. Let's go right into. Let's go to Kyrie because he's pretty popular. He's a pretty popular flat earther. Let's talk about what Kyrie. He's one of probably the most popular flat earthers. We're gonna go into a YouTube person. You probably know Brother Sanchez. We're gonna go into his video. Gonna play some of his. And if you do want to talk about your theory on whether the Earth is flat or round, let me put the StreamYard link in here. I want to hear your theories, Your theories are definitely welcome.
Kyrie Irving had this to say once again about his flat earth conspiracy, much like Bobby Ray does as well, B.O.B. This is a movement that is going on, and Kyrie is ingrained in it. Take a look.
And I've got to ask this. Since you've flown halfway around the world, do you still believe the earth is flat?
I felt like that question was going to...
Now, I will give Kyrie credit. Kyrie was right about the vaccine. Right, everybody that was talking about the vaccine, they, basically the COVID vaccine, they basically have lost face. A lot of people were wrong about, quote unquote, what you should do about the vaccine. People, I was pretty quiet about it as far as, I didn't pretty much promote the vaccine. You never heard me say, you should get the vaccine. Definitely, I was one to say basically you should choose a natural homeopathic, because basically I'm pretty much a naturalist. If you didn't know about me, I'm pretty much a naturalist. I sell natural herbs. I have a business. Basically that's one of my businesses, owlsherbs.com. I was one of the first people that said it's your immune system is what you should focus on. It doesn't matter if you wear a mask if your immune system is jacked up, right? It doesn't matter anything if your immune system is jacked up, right? So, the thing is that whether you took the vaccine or not, the people obviously that were pro-vaccine, they're definitely quiet. That L is permanently affixed to their name. They were definitely wrong on that side of history, as far as the people that was like, you're gonna kill everybody because you didn't take the vaccine, you're gonna put everybody's life in jeopardy. All of those nuts and quacks, right? The people that put their vaccine designation on their fucking dating profile, all you quacks, yeah, you're on the wrong side of history. And yes, you were wrong. Kyrie was right. And, I have to give him credit for that, because I never really said that. But since, this topic has come up, I definitely have to give him credit for that. He took a lot of blows from standing firm and saying he was not taking the vaccine. People don't really want to talk about that type of history, because, obviously it's a lot of moving parts with that. A lot of conspiracies with even the vaccine, with the whole COVID-19 thing. And yeah, he was on the right side of that, right? So I will have to give him credit for that.
Come in. And for me, it's not about whether the world is flat, whether the world is round. It's really about just everyone just believing what they want to believe and feeling comfortable with it. I'm not a scientist. I'm not here to tell everyone that this is it. For me, it's just giving everyone a chance to do their own research and find their own knowledge, rather than having knowledge just shoved to you. So that's me.
I agree with that part. The end. That, like, you should do your own research. No. Hang on. If we just have that live on his own, it sounds so philosophical. Like, no. Go on your own path and try to research and try to be informed. But then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I think the earth is flat.
Everyone at Duke's just like,
What do you think Jason Tatum is saying? A fellow Dookie who's there in Boston.
I think that's hilarious. I think it's so good. I don't think he really thinks the earth is flat. I think he's just screwing with people. Absolutely.
Well, why would he put it in his commercial then, as you're going to see right here in the new Nike commercial for Kyrie Irving shoes?
Now, this is more what I had in mind. This is my world.
Obviously, Kyrie has, kind of lost some endorsements, because he reshared a tweet, basically about the Hebrew Israelites and the Jews and everything like that. So this video is like 5 years old, I think, or something like that. So it's an old video.
This is my shoe.
I'm so glad I've never seen that commercial before.
Oh, you haven't?
I'm
It's a
so
good
glad I
commercial.
didn't
We aired it
actually.
previously, yeah. It's pretty
I'm
good.
glad I didn't have the water in my mouth when he flipped to the earth and it went flat.
So you think this is a troll job?
Yes.
You don't think he actually believes it?
No.
The whole
I
intent
didn't
behind
believe William Haynes thought that like dinosaurs didn't exist.
mermaids are real.
And mermaids are real. Like, I think they're just such funny guys. Like, that is such a great deadpan
I don't know,
set
bro.
of jokes, and especially something to stick to, where you like sit.
Is the Earth flat?
I just love hearing like sports stars like at the end of the, what was it? Like, there was an interview at the end of the Alabama game, and you ask like Tua in like what happened.
Yeah.
He goes, well, and he just like tears apart a defense. And then for them to just like follow up and be like, and the Earth's flat. What do you think? What do you believe? What do you believe?
Right.
I just freaking love it. And I want to say that it's tied to like this analysis of like facts in the media.
That's where I
about
thought you were
celebrities.
going. Oh, I
about-
thought you were
about-
going with the science behind
well, about superstars who like people believe what they want to believe about me. Why can't I believe what I want to believe about the world?
Right.
That's where I see Kyrie.
Okay.
Kyrie's one of my damn favorites.
Kyrie.
Yeah. You don't think so? I side with him.
I thought you were going in a complete opposite direction. I thought you were
What
going to go
side?
like, hey, I'm Brett. I went to Stanford. I know more than you. Like
No.
that sort of like
Yeah, well, I
Bill
would
Nye
do that.
2.0 sort of thing.
If I believed Kyrie for a second was like Earth's flat and hollow. Like if like have you heard of hollow
I thought
Earth
you
theory?
said challah for a second.
And
I
it's
was like,
made
damn.
of hollow.
All right, that's basically that. I'm gonna play this one here, and then we're gonna move along. So this is a video from 2021. It's got 5 million views. I don't know if something like one of these videos gonna get me something, whatever, but you know, we'll see. Let's play this one here. It's about 9 minutes long. Let's go.
If the Earth had an edge, flat Earth. I know. We've talked about it before, but there's something mesmerizing about it. A flat Earth solar eclipse? Diagonally growing trees? The Great Wall of Ice, guarded by NASA, of course. The flat earthers sure have a great imagination, but what if they were right? How would the Earth hold up in space? Would it revolve around the sun, or would the sun rotate around it? And why would you never walk to the Earth's edge? This is What If, and here's what would happen if the Earth was flat. In case you missed the news on the Flat Earth channel, here's a quick recap. For thousands of years, the general public thought that the Earth was flat and everything revolved around it. Then, Nicolaus Copernicus came around with his spanking new theory. The theory said that the Earth wasn't flat and definitely not the center of anything. His observations led him to believe that our planet is orbiting the sun. But here we are, 500 years later, and some people around the globe are convinced that the Earth is flat. Well, how would this even work? Do you know why the planets form in a spherical shape? One word: gravity. Gravity is what's pulling matter together equally from every side. And as a result, matter forms into a sphere. Of course, this wouldn't be the case for a flat Earth. Anti-round earthers think that there's no such thing as gravity. We only feel like there is because some mysterious force is accelerating the pancake-shaped Earth upwards. I don't need to tell you that you can't increase the speed forever. At some point, you'd be going too fast. Ugh. Does anybody feel like a burnt pancake? No? If you want some real science, then yes, there would be gravity on a flat Earth. And it would be weird. The center of gravity on a flat Earth would be right here in the middle. Everything on Earth and around would be pulled to this point. And the further you got away from the center, the stronger this pull would be. At some point, it would begin to pull you downward, so you would have to start climbing. This would be the reason why you couldn't walk to the edge of a flat Earth. Gravity would be so strong around there that it would be impossible for you to make it. You might never see the gorgeous 45-meter tall wall of ice called Antarctica, guardrailing the Earth's edge. And you'd never learn what's on the flip side. But at least you wouldn't fall off of it. There would be other side effects of this funny gravity. Objects closer to the edge of the Earth would fall sideways instead of down.
Yeah, that's pretty tripped out right there. So he mentioned something like European that, like, from the first of this video, is the most notable European that had a theory that the Earth was flat was actually Columbus. And basically the theory is, Christopher Columbus, that found the hot island of Hispaniola, which is modern day Dominican Republic and also Haiti, had the same theory. And we're gonna play this video here to see what these guys are talking about with that Christopher Columbus theory, because that's the first origin, as far as I know, of this flat Earth concept. Christopher Columbus, right? In the history books in K through 12.
So, when Columbus landed in the Western Hemisphere in 1492, he proved the world is round.
No.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to start like that. I'm Indy Nidell.
I'm Spartacus Olson. This is A Time Goes Short on the Myth of the Flat Earth. Educated people in Columbus' time knew the Earth was round. The idea that they didn't is down to 19th century historians and what is maybe the most successful piece of fake news ever concocted.
So, what was the purpose of Columbus's voyage? Well, his mission, as funded by Ferdinand and Isabella, was to find a marine passage to Asia, where a lot of spices and valuable goods came slowly overland from.
Let me also point out, this timeline was after the Inquisition. The Inquisition was basically after, it was during the time of the Crusades, right? Islam versus Christianity, right? In the Battle of Jerusalem. Hint, hint, wink, wink. The Battle of Jerusalem. I've said this before. I don't know if anybody else has said it. The Crusades have never ended. Hint, hint, wink, wink. The Battle of Jerusalem. But the thing is this, right? During that battle over Jerusalem, the Crusades, right? I'll have to get the timeline of the Crusades, but basically, after kind of the tail end of the Crusades period, the Moors were kicked out of Spain and Portugal. Queen Isabella was the most notable monarch that had something to do with that kicking out of the Moors, right? Out of Spain. And once they did that, they basically conquested to the new lands, which is America and South America, right? So how they got that information about what America actually was, that it was these lands that was basically west of Europe, was from the actual nautical travels of the Moors. They learned that these men were traveling far west and coming back with, different types of things such as gold, silver, copper. They found these things out. A lot of people have a modular thinking process. So they think a long time ago, they think that people just were at wherever they were. They didn't understand. People don't think that thousands of years ago, people travel. They really travel, but they didn't travel like today's traveling. Traveling was like long, and it was a hard voyage, and it was a lot of unknowns, and mostly only people traveled by boat. So the thing is, people were traveling. People were traveling for thousands and thousands of years. Like, a lot of times people don't understand that logic, that it wasn't just people just landlocked. They were traveling by voyage, by boat. And basically the Moors were the ones that had nautical knowledge of the seas, the wind trajectories, and they were traveling far and wide. And that's why Portugal and actually Spain was ahead of the other Europeans in their knowledge of nautical science. A lot of people you probably haven't even heard that word before, nautical science, but nautical science is an actual thing. And it's basically understanding different nautical instruments, different wind trajectories when it comes to the sails on a boat, how to survive in the open ocean, just a lot of different things. That is nautical science. The Spanish and the Portuguese were the earliest adopters of nautical science. They were ahead of all of the other Europeans in Europe because they got this knowledge from these, basically Arabs and also Arabians and also Africans that were in Europe. And they were in Europe for thousands of years, and they basically brought a lot of information. I know this really bothers racist people. This information is counter to the racist narrative that basically people in Africa were just swinging on trees and living in huts and had bones in their noses. So this is basically what people are taught. So, what I'm saying is almost like tinfoil hat talk to them because it goes against that narrative. But that is very, very important because Christopher Columbus' timeline actually is around that time that basically Queen Isabella kicked the Moors and also Jews that were in cahoots with the Moors, because a lot of people don't understand Judaism is more closely related to Islam because they share a lot of commonalities. Now, people don't really understand that because they don't read and they don't research history, but in that Inquisition, they kicked Jews out and also the Moors out of Spain and Portugal. Now, that is the timeline of after that period of Inquisition that Christopher Columbus sailed the, basically Western Hemisphere and found the island of Hispaniola. Just had to point that out.
So right from the start, it was based on the premise that the world is round.
Assume that by sailing far enough westward on this sphere that we call Earth, Columbus should eventually reach the east. They just didn't know that the Americas were in the way. But where on earth does this flat Earth nonsense come from? And how did Columbus get caught up in it?
It's actually a relatively modern myth which dates back to the 19th century. It originates with people who wanted to portray the church as having always opposed scientific progress. In 1828, American author Washington Irving publishes a new biography on Columbus. Part of Irving's aim is to incorporate Columbus as a part of a foundational myth.
It's tripped out how his last name is Irving, and we just talked about Kyrie. You see how history is tripped out, right? You see how tripped out that is, right?
Message.
Myth of a modern, rational America. In Irving's account of the build-up to his voyage, Columbus comes before the Council of Salamanca in 1491 to defend his ideas. The scholars and clergy sneer at the proposition that the world is round and that he can sail to the other side. Both the Psalms and the Epistle of St. Paul declare the heavens to extend over the earth like a tent. So how can it possibly be round?
But the thing is, Irving's account is baloney. There is a meeting at Salamanca, yeah, and sure, there are disagreements, but those disagreements are over Columbus's erroneous method for measuring distance over the ocean. In no way is the shape of the Earth questioned.
Right. Scholars have known for 2,000 years that the world is round, and medieval scholars had access to Pythagoras, Aristotle, Euclid, and Aristarchus, who all knew the world was round. In fact, as far back as 240 BC, Eratosthenes used the curvature of the Earth to accurately calculate its circumference. Medieval scholars also had access to newer Arabic studies.
Arabic studies.
Which, guess what, also tell us that the Earth is round.
And that's the difference between studying the language and studying the culture. And no, the Catholic Church did not teach that the Earth was flat. While working on the proposition for his voyage, Columbus regularly consults his copy of Imago Mundi, or Image of the World, by Pierre d'Ailly, a Roman Catholic cardinal and geographer whose work was based on the premise that the world is round.
But the seeds planted by Irving will grow. The anti-clerical French historian Antoine-Jean Le Tron picks up the baton in his 1834 book on the cosmographical ideas of the Church Fathers. He claims that until Columbus, astronomers were forced to agree to the flat Earth or face persecution, prison, and the stake. Le Tron is Inspector General of the University of Paris and chair of history at the Collège de France. So when he writes this, people believe him.
The genius of this attack is that it builds on some solid foundations, right? There have been conflicts between religion and science in the past. Everyone knows that. When this boils over once more in the 1860s and 70s about Darwin's theory of evolution, the flat Earth myth only gains more traction. The logic being that if the church denies science now, surely it has always denied science.
The myth of the medieval flat Earth will quickly become entrenched, trickling down from scholarship to mass education and into popular culture. Schools and universities will accept it as canon and reproduce it in textbooks and lectures. As a 1919 American school book simply states,
when Columbus lived, people thought that the Earth was flat.
This will live on into the 21st century as it is consistently reproduced in schools and the media. It is safe to say that this is one of the most successful pieces of fake news ever created, which continues to influence how we think about people of pre-modern worlds.
Imagine that. Well, that's it for today, but keep watching Time Ghost every 7 times that the world goes around. For more awesome content, and join the Time Ghost Army at timeghost.tv or patreon.com so we can keep chronicling ever more of what happened during earlier revolutions. See you next time.
All right, that was some good information right there from those guys. Very, very good information. I got a couple more videos to play, and then I'm going to finalize everything with brother Sanchez. He's one of the probably the most famous, actually not famous, but the most notable person that I can think of that really pushes the whole flat Earth theory. I believe that probably even Kyrie Irving knows about brother Sanchez, because a lot of times what I find out about social media, and also even people that have YouTube platforms, famous people actually watch them, but they might they watch them and they don't point out who they actually listen to, because maybe, whatever the case may be. That's what people actually do. So let me play this video here. Let's go into, I believe this one here is the one here.
Prove the flat Earth theory.
A couple of things. During Ramadan, you fast during the day and you eat at sunset. Do you know that in the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, they issue a table, depending on what floor you're on, it's a different time that the sun sets. So if you had a higher floor, you have to eat a little later than those who live on a...
So we going into the people that are disproving the flat Earth theory. Neil deGrasse Tyson is a notable scientist. He does not believe in the flat Earth theory. Okay.
On the lower floor. And that can only happen if Earth is round. And not only that, and I did this back when we had a World Trade Center, so it was perfectly positioned facing Jersey. I have photos, and you can watch the sunset up the World Trade Center. It goes 1 floor per second. And so it's 107 flights up. So it takes about 2 minutes for the sun to fully set for those looking beyond the curvature of the Earth. It's also, we're in New York City. Yep. We've watched football games in the winter taking place in California where the sun was still up.
All right. That's pretty decent information there. Let's continue onward. Let's go here. This is in outer space, which is in a space shuttle. Space shuttle.
Right, and let's
hang on.
Still the handle.
Whoa, what a perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Open up to Antarctica.
Yes.
Now let's go in.
South Pole, right here. Sunrise.
That's probably better. Distribution of labor.
And our nose cone. Today a little bit cloudy, I think.
Yeah.
Because I cannot see much.
Damn.
You know what's that? I think we are at about 120 degrees east.
Be very careful with the seals there.
And flying north. Probably 15 minutes we'll be in Australia.
Nice. God, I've just got to move.
You got to notice. I don't know if people are intimidated by me because I am smart as fuck, but I am not a fucking scientist in the sense of I understand
there's already so much thought on here.
outer space theory or Earth theory. So if you did want to join the panel, you
John's been waiting for this moment all his
probably
life.
have a leg up on me because I don't have a strong enough theory either way.
This is weird. It doesn't have
whether it be flat or round. Now, I'll have to say, just looking at this from the outer space,
look at it.
This is
So
basically
beautiful.
round to me. And I guess I would say, yeah, I mean, 32 minutes in, I definitely don't believe the flat Earth theory. Okay? I definitely don't believe one of the things I'll say is that I'm not necessarily. I mean, I know people are programmed to believe that the Earth is flat. I mean, Earth is round. That's what that you're taught in school, right? From K through 12. Even your parents probably they taught you to say or whatever that Earth is round, right? So, but the thing is that certain things that kind of seem very obvious to me that the Earth is round, right? So,
they call it a spacewalk.
Seems pretty round to me from outer space, right? Makes sense, right? And then the whole theory, okay, where do you fall off, right? Where is that fall off period? Why is it people talking about, man, I fell off, right?
No human.
I mean, obviously, if they fell off the Earth, then they're not around to explain if they fell off the Earth. So that's kind of tripped out right there. So yeah, this is someone from from basically outer space, right? Astronaut, right? Looking at Earth's rotation, the Earth's actual portrayal from outer space. They're zooming out, zooming in. I mean, they got high performance cameras, obviously.
Unbelievable.
That they can see,
you would not believe
very
how
clear
much fun it
pictures,
is at LA.
very clear video.
It's just, it is mind-boggling up here. It is so much fun.
I'm not gonna play this whole thing, but I'm gonna basically close this one out, and then I'm going to I got Brother Sanchez video. here. He's pretty popular as far as a YouTuber. I mean, he's got over 100,000 views. 100,000 subscribers, and also 11,000 views on this particular video. I would have to say it's safe to say that Kyrie Irving probably knows this guy, Brother Sanchez, because he's probably one of the most popular black YouTubers or black people, black men that have this flat earth theory. As far as I know, this is the guy when it comes to flat earth, because I don't really hear anybody else talking about flat earth but this guy. So let's play this video here. I'm not going to play the whole video because it's obviously 7 hours. I am definitely not going to be here for 7 hours watching no video about no damn flat earth or round earth for that matter.
The shape of an ellipse sphere or an elliptical orbit is a skewed circle. Basically, the planets are making perfect circles, but from our perspective on the Earth, you see what happens, they become elliptical, but that's just to our perspective. But something I want to point out, I'm working my way to the questions and where I want to go here. Now, this is what we would expect on a flat Earth, right? And I just showed you how on a board. And I'm finna work my way up to what's happening here.
This is crazy right here. I don't know who the fuck created this shit. This right here. This shit is tripped out right here, bro. This some tripped out shit. Like I don't know what Jamalaka, Malaka, Swarvlaka, and then below it, Atalaka. Wow. People be taking mushrooms and shit. And I've never took no mushrooms. I'm kind of scared to take mushrooms. But this like something that somebody that was on some mushrooms, they created. Now, I will tell you this. Some of the most tripped out things, even inventions, came from people that were high as fuck. Like some of the most tripped out sci-fi movies, they were basically created by people that was high off of their fucking mind. In case you didn't know that.
February 28th. So on February, I just showed you what the ancients said about the stars. Now, based on what I just said, let's go back to this Hindu model. Let me clean my board just real quick because I'm gonna have to come back to it. So real quick, let's clean the board. All right. So check this out. I just showed you how that works on a flat earth, right? How the planets above us, even though the ancient accounts and the biblical accounts talked about circles, we perceive them as elliptical circles from our perspective. This is what the globe teaches, but I'm showing you why we observe them that way on a flat earth. So, but peep game, what's going to happen on February 28th? Let's go to this Hindu cosmos. So on February 28th, when you're standing, let's just act like, even though you're not a flat earther, if you who listening to me mad right now, we know you're not a flat earther, okay? But can you just see what I'm trying to show you here for a minute so you can actually respond accordingly? So let's say you're standing on this flat earth, the circle of the earth, according to the Hindu right here. We're standing on the earth. On February 28th, all of these heavenly bodies that you see on this Hindu conception of the universe, right? They will all be in a straight line like this right here. Now, let's just say the Hindu was right about the shape of the earth and that it's flat. We just for scenario purposes, we're on a flat plane, and the 7 wandering stars above us are actually doing what we see them doing with our eyes, and everything is what it is and how we observe it. Now, if that was true, then of course the ancient people would have been right about the shape of the earth and what they thought the stars was doing. Now, you can laugh at the ancient people for thinking that they were on a flat earth and for observing the stars this way. But before you laugh, we know that the ancient people were very smart. So let's just give them a shot. Let's give it a chance to see why they entertained it. It was very simple to the ancestors, because they were saying, we're standing on a flat plane down here, and every now and then, all of these planets catch up with each other. All of these planets, like a vinyl record with a needle on different grooves. Let's just say that these different needles all align. So you got 7 grooves, 7 needles playing on each groove. And the grooves ain't in alignment. Some are ahead of the other one, some are behind. But every now and then, all of these needles are in a straight line. Okay, you can look at it that way. And so the earth is like a series of rings, different. Each ring is a different world, but I'm not going to get into that. But you could think of it like a vinyl record. Now, all of these wandering stars, all 7 of them above the earth, according to the Hindu, they're circling above our head like a halo. And every now and then, they all line up. And we're able to look up above a flat earth and just see them in a line. Now, this is how this would work, guys. Okay? On a flat earth model, it's very simple. I'm not saying that that is right. I'm saying this is what the Hindu was saying. Now, listen, me personally, I agree with the Hindu. And I think this is right, but it ain't about me and what I think. I have questions for you guys today, all right? So I think that Occam's razor is always, the simplest answer. So I'm going to explain it according to the Hindu first, and then I want to share with you the problems I have with it with the globe. So according to the Hindu, we're simply on a flat plane, and we're looking up at each of the 7 wandering stars on different altitudes in its own orbitable path. And every now and then they align, just like I said, and we're able to go outside, and this alignment will swing its way around. They will make
obvious thing, right? What he is explaining. If you're not fucking like gone in the head, right? Fucking obvious fucking thing, right? What is the obvious thing that you can see about this picture? The obvious thing that you can see about this goddamn picture right here. I mean, you don't have to be a fucking Mensa candidate. Figure out the fucking obvious thing about this fucking picture right here. Can anybody point out the obvious thing about this picture right here? I mean, looking at it like you're 5 years old. Every goddamn thing in this fucking picture is fucking round. From Mercury all the way to Saturn, everything is a ball. So when you bring evidence thus forth trying to debunk the earth is round, why would you have these balls? Pause. Wait, hold on. Where my boy at? Why would you have these balls in a picture? That's the obvious fucking thing, right? You're explaining flat earth with a bunch of round balls, which are other planets.
Pause.
I mean, like all of these are, you know, round spears, right? But let me continue.
People on the other side of the world, they will be able to see the alignment, but you know, it'll be at different times, of course, because the sun and moon are still, you know, doing their thing. Now, keep this in mind. Everyone gonna be able to see this when it swings itself around, you know, to everyone. No problem with that. But the problem that I do have is we got to go and take a look at our solar system real quick, which I'll show you here. Let's get a quick picture of the solar system. So here's the problem I have with the globe. And like I said, this ain't a debate. It's just me pointing out something that I'm wondering about. And I would just want to know if when I open the call lines, will anyone come answer it? So let's go ahead and pull up a legitimate solar system. And we would preferably want all of the planets in alignment. So can we find a solar system with the planets lined up? Sure we can. And just bear with me. Solar system. All right, this'll do. This'll do. Now, everyone know which planet we are. We're the third rock from the sun. Everybody know that. We the third rock from the sun. Now, here is a solar system model. And from the sun, if you count 3 planets, 1, 2, 3, there go our blue marble. Now, this is what's going to happen February 28th. You're going to see all of the planets in the solar system in alignment, at least the 7 that I just named. The question is, if Earth is a planet, why isn't Earth in this alignment? Why isn't Earth in this alignment? Now, think about this. When you go outside on February 28th, you're going to look up at a planetary alignment where Mercury, Venus, Uranus, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, and Saturn right in front of your eyes in a straight line. And you're not going to ask yourself, why isn't Earth in between Mercury and Venus? You got to ask yourself, how come in every great alignment, Earth ain't never there? It's always Mercury, Venus, Uranus, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, and Saturn. Why Earth is never in its, just think about what I'm saying. According to the solar system model, Earth is in between Venus and Mars, which means this kind of alignment on a globe Earth, it means that if you're on the left side of the globe, according to this picture, you would only be able to see Venus and Mercury in your alignment. And now the people on the other side of the globe,
If you getting these vibes right here, you are absolutely correct, because that's kind of the vibes that I'm getting.
All right, get in there. What's up, young blood? What's up? Swine, my brother? Nah, no thanks. But let me tell you something. If you hit a man in time, his wounds will heal. And if you steal from a man, you can replace what you steal. And always cross in the green, never in between. Honorable Elijah Muhammad Ali floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
Just thinking about spending another minute with Farrakhan made me never want to do time in the joint again.
Boy, am I happy to see you, man. And always remember, my brother, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, 000 party. Oops, out of time. My bacon smelling fine.
Oh my God. that video, that's like 20 years. That video is 20 years old. Actually, it's actually older than 25 years. Because that was from Don't Be a Menace.
The other 5 planets, Earth should be in the middle of this alignment, and Earth should be splitting Venus and Mars. And because of that, no one on this globe should be able to go outside and just look up and see this. People, just think about it.
You got
now,
a theory.
According to the Vedics,
link is in the
it's
chat.
Simply, we on a flat Earth, and the 7 wandering stars are above us doing what they do. Every now and then they catch up to each other, and we have an alignment. Boom, simple. You see that? It's so simple with the ancient way. And it's possible that this way you can go outside and just look up and see that alignment. And guess what? On a flat Earth, Earth would never be in this alignment, because according to this cosmology, Earth ain't a planet. Earth is just a plane that we go out and walk out on and look up at all of the heavens and the planets. You see? So the question, one of the questions I got for the globalists is, why the world is Earth never present in its proper spot in between Mercury and Venus during these great alignments? Now, here's what I think, what kind of answer I may get. They're going to say, Sanchez, here is Earth, and it is part of that alignment, Sanchez, but here go the other planets right here, Sanchez. Now let's put, they got to be in a line. I'm tripping. I'm thinking regular solar system. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There goes 7 planets. Here go Earth. Now that's what they got to say. They got to say, hey, Sanchez, we on a globe Earth, and every now and then in our solar system, all of the planets align and they go above the Earth. Think about what I'm showing you here. Let's go here. This is how this would look on a globe Earth, people. Just look at it. If you're on a globe Earth and you able to look up at all of the 7 planets in the solar system, excluding the Earth. Think about, now that's a red flag. Every time these great alignments happen, it's never the Earth in the alignment. And according to the Hindu, the reason
the Hindu, okay. I don't really know what he means by the Hindu. Are you talking about the Indians?
What's up, young blood? What's up? Swine, my brother? Nah, no thanks. Now let me tell you something. If you hit a man in time, his wounds will heal. And if you steal from a man, you can replace what you steal. And always cross in the green, never in between. Honorable Elijah Muhammad Ali looks like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
Just thinking about spending another minute with Farrakhan made me never want to do time in the joint again.
Boy, am I happy to see you, man. And always remember, my brother, 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, get a dog a bone, 2000 00 party, oops, out of time, my bacon smelling fine.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that shit is a classic, boy. That shit is a fucking classic. I mean, when I hear people talking like that, that's what I think about, though. Like, that's really, that's kind of what I think about, You know who else talk like that? Princella. Princella talks just like that. If you really catch it, that's that damn that scene. And you know what I mean. Knick knack paddywhack. Give your dog back. Knick knack quack quack. Paddywhack. Fuck who's the Mac? I'm back. In a knapsack. Going out back to see who's wiggity 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 wick whack. Don't get on my sack if you don't want to get attacked. I'm black, 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 blackity black, black, black. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me get some stink in it. Don't touch my meat because I'm going to make you pink. My brother, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew. God bless you. Don't mess with Yahweh, you way on the highway, byway, my brother.
Earth is never in this alignment. It's because you're on the earth and the earth ain't what they telling you. It's not a ball like the other balls that you see in the sky. According to the
Pause.
Hindu here, the earth is a plane and the heavens and all that are just lights for time keeping, for travel and all that, just like the Bible calls it and says it, that for signs and wonders, as the Bible say. And so I have questions for globe earthers, and you can see that I'm not in a bad spirit. I'm not name calling. I'm not cursing, using profanity. So if I give respect in my mind, I should get respect. Nobody should come calling any kind of names or insults. Should just be politely answering questions. I'm being very, very nice right now. And I'm being very mature and respectful.
I'm being respectful too. What the fuck is ocean of milk? What the fuck is that? The ocean of milk. Where the fuck? Hey, I had to go buy some milk a couple days ago. I still drink milk. I don't really fuck with ice cream, but I still drink milk. Milk and cookies, whatever, cereal. I'm a vegetarian. I ain't no vegan. So I still eat milk products, cheese. If I can find what a motherfucking ocean of milk is respectfully, I can stop buying milk. Because if I could just find the source of the fucking ocean of fucking milk, shit. I still eat butter too, but not really much. But if I can find, you mean to tell me if I can find the sugar cane of syrup, because I'd still fuck with pancakes, in pause on this, the G butter. God damn it, the G butter. If I can find the G butter, and then you got another side of milk. If I can find an ocean of wine, I mean, you know what I'm saying? If I can find all of this shit that I'm seeing on this goddamn picture, I would stop buying a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, the ocean of fresh water? Well, I think I might have found the ocean. I might have found the ocean of fresh water. But I mean, I'm talking about the ocean of milk. Well, I'm surrounded by farms because I'm in Indiana. But I can't necessarily go in them barns and then just start squeezing milk. I probably get shot. I can't necessarily say I can do that. But if I can find the ocean of milk, I could solve a problem of, you know, perpetuity of me spending about $3 to $5 on milk once a week, twice a week, whatever you know. If I can find the ocean of milk, if I can find the ocean of wine, I'll probably be a billionaire, right? Because I found the ocean of wine. I mean, obviously, I just create a liquor store like my granddaddy, and I'll be selling wine. If I can find the ocean of this shit, this wine, I'm set for life. My grandkids set for life. Everybody set for life. My whole family tree set for life. If I can find the ocean of wine, my dear brother, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog sack. If I can find the ocean of the wine, I'm in divine, my brother, respectfully.
So I only have just questions. And these question here is, every time we see an alignment take place, if we're on a globe Earth, then that is a very rare occurrence. You got to think about what this means for the globe. For the globe, what this means is that not only is all of the planets aligned for the globe model, but they got to lift up too. They got to lift up for you to be able to see every last, because if they don't lift up, then just think about it. If they don't lift up, like what I'm saying, then people on the left side of the globe, according to this image, would only see Mercury and Venus and the sun. And the people on the right side, they would see the other 5 planets, right? With the moon, I'm guessing. But you get my point. They can't be on the same height level, altitude level, because now they're going to block each other from Earth being the third rock from the sun, unless they saying, well, listen, Earth isn't part of this alignment. Because another way that this can play out right here, instead of everything being above the Earth, everything can simply be in front of the Earth, and I'll show you what that looked like.
Hey, Def D, remember them drops? Them drops I gave you?
So let's say
I'm taking a couple more.
You will have,
I took about 4 or 5 drops. I had to take some more because I just need more drops because I gotta actually stomach.
Then it'll be more like in front of the Earth, like in front of your eyes, like that. But that'll be a rare combination too when you think about it. Look at their model. That means, according for that to work, all of the planets will have to go ahead of Earth now. Or it can work in reverse if the Earth leave all the, think of this like a racetrack. All right, that's what you got to do, man. Simplify this. Think of this solar system like a racetrack. In order for me to see every racer in front of me, they got to run ahead of me. Or either I got to run ahead of them and look backwards. Are we checking? And the only way that I can see every racer in front of me or behind me all at one time is I get ahead of them, or me and all of these racers are at the starting point in alignment like what
he has this 7 hours. This is 7 hours of content. Now, here's the thing, bro. I'd have to say, black people could probably sell anything, including cable TV, right? Some people are very convincing. I would have to say this brother is definitely convincing. I don't really know what he's talking about. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm hearing him, but I'm not hearing him. And I'm pretty sure when I talk, I probably have that same rapport with other people when I'm talking about certain things. I don't know if it's necessarily this bad, but I really don't understand what he's talking about as far as what he's actually explaining right now with actual balls, including the sun as a ball as his reference point. Now, I don't know even also what he said prior about Hindu. What does the Hindu have anything to do with this? I'm not high enough to fucking understand this shit, to be honest with you. I think that's part of the problem and the main problem.
We see here, I would never be able to see every racer. You know why? I'm one of the racers, man. When I
one of the racers, huh? Okay.
Look to my right, I'm gonna see the man next to me. That's it. If we're in a straight line, sequence perfectly, like line dancers, like we see here, that's what make it what a great alignment. This is the creator's beauty. Whether it works on a globe or the flat earth, long as it works, it shows that the creator is awesome. It shows that there's an intelligence behind creator, because we see perfect math playing out in reality. So for either model, if the globe is true and the flat earth is wrong, then the creator is still great, no matter what. And that's a whole nother debate. But the point that I'm making is it's because we see these perfect mathematical events playing out. And I think, to me, that's the creator saying, hey, I'm real, I'm intelligent, you know, there's something greater than you controlling this thing. Now, check me out. Let's get back on track with my questions for the globe with this. We're looking at this like a racetrack. If you got racers that get ahead of the earth, we can see them all. Or if the earth get ahead of them, we can look back and see them all. I'm being redundant. But the only other way that can happen is if we lift the racers up off the ground. And now that'll be like my original example, which I'm going to go back and show you what I mean. If we lift the racers off the ground, now we can look up and we can see them all. So you gotta lift them up. We ain't gonna even flirt with the option of bringing them down, but we know that's an option. But you get my point. You gotta create the right angle for me to be able to see all of these things, and I'm a participant on the track. In this case, if I'm a participant on the track, I'm Earth. And I just gave you all of the scenarios that Earth will be able to see every other racer on a track that is racing against. And I don't want to be too redundant. All right, we get the point now that in order on a globe Earth for this to make sense, I just gave you all your options what'll have to happen. On a flat Earth, it's very simple. You just walk outside on a flat Earth and all of the stars, let me see, on a flat Earth, this is very simple. It's very simple on a flat Earth, because on a flat Earth, there's 7 wandering stars above us and the Earth ain't one of them. So if somebody say to the globe earther, why during these great alignments when all the planets line up, Earth ain't never in the alignment, but it's a planet? If the global is saying Earth is a planet, how come during every great alignment, the Earth ain't a part of it? Now they can say, well, Earth just ain't part of the alignment. Well, where is Earth's position during the alignment? And then we're gonna have to play the game that I just played on the board. Once I ask the globalist, okay, if Earth not a part of the alignment, where is Earth position? And if
What?
the globalists say, well, Earth is a part of the alignment, I must say, why isn't it in between Mercury and Venus then? Earth is the third rock from the sun. How can it be a part of the alignment and not a part of it at the same time? So if Earth is participating in the alignment, in order for Earth to see every other planet in the alignment at the same time, that would be impossible on a globe. The only way Earth would be able to see every other planet in this alignment at the same time in its sky is if we take Earth out of the alignment, like I've been showing you right here on my board, sir. There's no way Earth can be participating in this planetary alignment, but also see every planet in the alignment in its sky.
Let me save you from all of this, man. Let me save you. Let me save you, man. You got to go to work tomorrow. You got to get to, you know, settling for bed, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna save you from all of the torture right here.
All right, get in there.
Good night.
What's up, young blood? What's up? Swine, my brother? Nah, no thanks. Now let me tell you something. If you hit a man, in time, his wounds will heal. And if you steal from a man, you can replace what you steal. And always cross in the green, never in between. Honorable Elijah Muhammad Ali floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
Just thinking about spending another minute with Farrakhan made me never want to do time and enjoy it again.
Boy, am I happy to see you, man. And always remember, my brother, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, get a dog a bone, 2000, 00, party, oops, out of time, my bacon smelling fine.